You were actually in San Francisco at the time when unfortunately that plane. How did you sense a feeling of people at the time of uncertainty at that time?
Oh yes, there was mass confusion. There were people we were all at the gate waiting to take off on a flight within about 20 minutes. We were just about to board. And there were many people just looking out the window. It was a beautiful day. And then you couldn't hear or feel anything, but people at the window started to say, "I just saw a plane crash." Nobody believed them initially, because since they weren't seeing it visibly right there, they would say, "No, couldn't be." Then we started to see black smoke going up. So people said, "Oh, maybe they landed and something caught on fire." They started using the term accident. In fact, the airline people who were boarding us seemed to deny what was going on. They acknowledged something had happened and they tried to board us.
Isn't it better when something goes wrong? It's the cover-up of the hidden facts that come back and haunt you.
Yes, very much so.
So couldn't it be someone with you would say, "It seems there is something happening in one of the airline runways. We'll keep you posted," and keep you posted. Don't people handle it better when you handle it that way?
Yes, there was a tremendous amount of misinformation, misleading us. They actually told everyone to board the plane, and a lot of us were saying, "We're not going to be able to take off. There's a dire emergency in the airport. They're just not going to do it." They were insisting. Now, of course, some of that's a business, a profit motive, and they boarded us all on the plane. And the pilot kept talking about, "I'm sure in no time we're going to take off." Well, I sat there saying to myself, I just can't see how things could be normal in an airport at a time like this. We also started to see emergency vehicles coming from every which direction.
So if you were going to run that airport that time, the first thing I think you would know, it seems to be an accident. You would let everybody know about it because of it, and it's tying up a major entrance and exit for planes. We're going to close it down to we're comfortable, so it's safe to land, and then let you have that kind of information. It didn't come, did it?
No, it didn't. And in fact, a lot of people, when they started to try to basically sort of force us to board, obviously people were getting frightened because they didn't know if this was some kind of terrorist attack. They didn't know if there was some kind of error beyond that one plane. So it was there was really a lack of sensitivity. And that really carried on for the next 24 hours. And what I mean by that is that there's such a desire for the airlines to normalize business, and I guess the passengers to try to believe it, that they kept having people book on additional flights. And we kept saying, but everything on the television is saying the airport's closed and no flights will be taking over hours.
So it's just a typical example. This is I call the Nixon syndrome. Nixon would never have been in trouble if he just told the truth.
Right.
He could have blamed everybody around him. No special tapes, no omissions of anything.
Right.
And he would have gone down as a pretty good president because he opened up China, a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
So it's the cover-up.
Yes.
It's no different in life. The cover-up at the airport made more stress, not less stress.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a problem from it, you talk about it, you will handle it better down the road. So everything is sort of like a parallel, isn't it?
Yes, very much. Yes, agreed.
So if you read history, it just keeps repeating itself.
Yes.